everybody. Welcome to another episode of Cigar Chat. I'm Arnold.
I'm Sal.
And we're here today too.
We're going to talk about the Philly Mafia.
Oh yeah, the Philly Mob. Oh my God, that's one of the best ones around, man. How come we hadn't talked about this one?
I don't know. You tell me, Arnold.
Well, we were kind of busy over the holidays and the current political climate in the in the country.
Well, we've been planning on doing it.
You've
We've
been
talking
busy.
about it. We've been busy.
I've been busy. But yeah, we definitely wanted to talk about the Philly Mob, which is another good one. It has a lot of history. It might be a little bit more longer, I guess, than the other ones, but
Yeah, a little longer.
we'll try our best to kind of get this information out to you guys because there's a lot of interesting information. It was also recently, a little bit of it was featured in The Irishman,
Yes.
which I thought was a great movie. What'd you think about it?
I liked the movie. The only thing everybody said was too long, was drawn out. To me, I enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
I thought it was worth watching.
I agree.
People didn't understand it, I don't think. You know what I mean?
We talked about it in one of our other episodes. The thing about The Irishman is there was a lot of information. You can't put, I don't know, 50 years or 40 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was a lot of
it's a long
information.
time.
And they did good. They did a good job on it, I think.
It was a Scorsese movie, and we all love
Yep.
Scorsese. How do you put 40 or 50 years worth of stuff in a 1 hour movie? You can't do it.
I think they did good.
I think so, too.
I think they put it together really well.
I think so too. There was a small part there where Angelo Bruno was there, and he was sitting with I think with the Chicken Man, with Phil Testa.
That was with Phil Testa.
And then they said hello to Russell Bufalino, who was Joe Pesci's character.
Right.
So and Harvey Keitel was Angelo Bruno in the movie for that short moment.
Yeah, it was just a brief.
But it was Harvey Keitel, which
Right.
he's an amazing actor. Everything he does is phenomenal. He's been in a lot of the Quentin Tarantino movies, and he's just an overall great actor. Believe it or not, you know who he was married to in real life? I'm not sure if he's still married, but I think he has 2 kids with her.
Who's that?
Lorraine Bracco.
Really?
Dr. Melfi.
Huh.
You guys might remember her from Goodfellas. She was Ray Liotta's wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then, of course, in Sopranos, she was the therapist. She was
Right.
Dr. Melfi. But anyway, so basically the Philly Mafia has some really amazing roots. It was basically started in South Philadelphia. Okay. And they kind of took over that area there where it was South Philly and South Jersey. It was started by a guy named Sal the Butcher, a.k.a. the Butcher.
The Butcher.
Sabella. Okay. And the reason, the way he got his nickname was he...
Didn't he murder his teacher? Or
yes, he murdered his teacher
That's what I thought.
in Sicily.
Mm-hmm.
He was
14 years old.
I know, 14 years old.
He whacked somebody
he
at
whacked
14
the guy.
years old.
He became the butcher,
14 years old.
Sal the Butcher. He was basically training to become a butcher in Sicily, and he whacked his teacher. And then after that, they sent him to jail. He became a member. When he got out, he became a member of the Mafia in Sicily, in a little town called Castellamare del Golfo.
That's in Sicily.
That's in Sicily. And a big faction of the Mafia from Sicily, from that town, actually ended up going to New York later. And they were the ones that were responsible for the famous Castellamarese War, which was, I think, that was in the
91, I thought.
No, that was, it was later.
Was it later in
That
years?
was later. I'll tell you guys right
My
now.
mistake, sorry.
It was in 1930.
31.
Yeah, I believe it was in the 30s. We'll have to
Somewhere in the 30s. We have to research that.
We'll have to check that out. We'll have to check it out. But anyway, so Sabella gets to to Philly, basically in 1919, and just like in the movie The Godfather, when he gets to Philly,
But wasn't he?
you know what kind of business he started? Do you know?
He started
his own
olive oil business.
olive oil business. Just like it was in The Godfather, it was Genco olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the name of the Sabella's business back then, but I think that's pretty cool.
Talking to me? Are you talking to me?
Who's talking?
Who's talking?
Who's this guy? Who's this guy?
Who's this guy?
So anyway, Sabella was actually the guy that trained Angelo Bruno, who would later become the mob, the mob boss in Philly. And it's funny because Sabella trained Bruno, and he also trained John Avina. And in 1927, local authorities deported Sabella back to Sicily. And when that happened, that's when John Avina became the acting boss of Philly, South Philly.
Yeah.
And you guys might remember South Philly, if you know Rocky,
Rocky.
Yeah,
I
Rocky
Ate a
Balboa.
Tiger. Yeah.
That's where it was filmed. It was all about that South Philly area, which was pretty cool.
It was a rough area too.
It was, yeah. It was mainly Italian. It was, for years, it was a really nice neighborhood. It was, controlled, mob controlled. Everybody knew each other. I mean, still, like I've been to South Philly countless times. With Veronica, with my family, with the kids. We've walked around. They had a beautiful Italian market there. It still retains that character, but of course, years have passed, and it's not.
But the streets were different then.
Yeah, it was different. Yeah.
I don't care what anybody
was a lot
says
more
about the
decent back then.
mob. I love the mob. I love talking about the mob. I think the mob kept certain areas.
They did.
They kept them intact,
They did. Yeah.
and everybody knew everybody.
Everybody knew. I mean, and
You
this,
know?
this is not too far from Jersey and Brooklyn. where
No,
you're from,
where I'm
right?
from in Brooklyn,
That's
it
how
was
I
the same
grew up.
thing. That's how the neighborhoods were. They were controlled and run by the mob.
And it
they
was
did
great.
their thing.
Everybody knew each
But
other.
the neighborhoods were kept good.
I mean, let's not to say that there weren't bad things that happened.
I mean, there's always
we
bad
know that,
things.
but for the most part, yeah, everybody knew each other. It was decent. I'll tell you what, I would trade today for back then.
Oh, forget about it.
Anytime, anytime.
No doubt. I go
I
back
mean,
to the
I remember
80s.
when I was growing up in North Jersey, there was a little social club, and it was right there on 42nd Street in Weehawken. Well, Union City, but right on the Union City Weehawken border, and it was called the Warriors Club. And when I was a little kid, I'd walk down to the little corner grocery
Is
store.
that a bikers club?
No, it was called the Warriors Club, but it was a social club.
Really?
It was an Italian social club. And you're always asking me about the
Warriors.
Indian, how I like the Chiefs.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It had a big Indian chief on the glass. I said, the Warriors Club.
Wow.
So here
Interesting.
I am, I'm a little kid, and I would always peek my nose in there in my head and see what was going on.
I can see you doing that.
Oh man, it was great. And it was Vinny and Joe were these old two Italian guys, and they loved me, right? And I'd walk in there and they'd call me Little Raymond. They go, "Hey, Little Raymond, how you doing? How's it going? How's your father? How's your mother?"
That's the way it was back
phenomenal.
then.
And I say, "Hey guys, can I watch? Can I stick around here and watch you guys? Because they were always playing cards, Yeah, sure. Take a peek." And I'll tell you a story about that, which is it's kind of connected to this whole Philly story too, because a lot of the guys that hung out there obviously were made guys, connected guys, the whole shebanger. But one of the guys that hung out there was Tony Provenzano.
Oh, wow.
Now, you guys might recognize the name from the movie, but Tony Provenzano was the head of the union for the Teamsters, which was the local Teamsters union in Union City, New Jersey, which is my hometown. So that's the history with that. But anyway, the Philly crew, the Philly mob, was connected, very well connected to the DeCavalcantis. And the DeCavalcanti family were the ones that ran North Jersey, Newark, Jersey City, that whole area there. And believe it or not, I'm a huge Sopranos fan. I know you are too.
Oh, I love Sopranos.
They were the inspiration for the show, for the Sopranos.
They were.
And the North Jersey crew in Elizabeth and in Newark, it was actually run by Sam the plumber. And he was a good friend of these guys.
He was a good friend of Jimmy Hoffa's, wasn't he?
I think Sam the plumber was a good friend of Jimmy Hoffa's, but Sam the plumber was also a good friend of the crew over there in Philly.
Yes.
And the Philly mob, just so I can make a little side note here, they were also very big in Atlantic City and that whole South Jersey area. They were involved in the casinos, building a lot of the casinos and stuff like that. But anyway, going back to the story. So Sabella trained Angelo Bruno and John Avina. And then eventually, in 1927, the local authorities deported Sabella back to Sicily. And that's when Avina became the acting boss.
Right.
And then after he was deported, that's when that war broke out in New York City, which was called the Castellamarese War. Okay.
That erupted big.
Big time. Yeah, a lot of people got whacked.
Big.
A lot of people got whacked.
Yeah, that was.
And that was led by Sal Maranzano and Joe the Boss Mazzaria. Okay, so for several years, a lot of people did get whacked.
They did get whacked.
Yep. A lot of violence.
There was bodies everywhere.
It was a bad time. It was a bad time in New York.
Yeah.
And in 1931, after the war broke out, Mazzaria, Sabella actually came back to Philly. Okay. And in 1959, he passed away a little bit after that. And then in 59, Angelo Bruno becomes the boss. And now Bruno, which is the guy that I told you Harvey Keitel plays in The Irishman, was known as the Peaceful Don.
Don. Yep.
He didn't want any war. He didn't want anything bad. You can slide over a little bit.
He was more the peacemaker.
Yeah, he was kind of like.
He liked to keep everything.
He was like
low
Traficante
key.
here in Tampa.
Low key.
He wanted things to kind of just stay, pretty good. He didn't believe in violence. because he brought up a good point. Violence and wars, people lose money. They don't make money.
Exactly.
So he didn't want the crew to lose money.
It screws the outfit up.
Yeah, it's bad, And believe it or not, during this time, the Mafia in Philly prospered under Angelo Bruno's reign.
He had some problems with the Genovese family, didn't he, in New York?
Yeah, that's what I read. In 1980, he had some problem. He fell into some trouble with them, and then he got whacked.
He
got whacked. He got clipped.
They rest in pieces.
Pieces, yeah. As a matter of fact,
I love this stuff. This is
good stuff.
This is good stuff.
These
brother.
videos are going to be really.
Oh, I love.
They're going to be really good stuff.
I
think these videos are going to end up in some museum somewhere, maybe the Mob Museum.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
The way Bruno got clipped, he was sitting in his car in front of his house, and they got him with the shotgun and they blasted him through the back of the head.
Right in the back.
Boom.
Boom.
He's gone, and there's nothing you can do about it.
And you can't bring him back.
And you can't
Rest
bring
in
him
pieces.
back. Rest in pieces. That was Angelo Bruno's.
Are you Al Capone today?
I'm Angelo Bruno.
Angelo Bruno, eh? Get the fuck out of here.
Oh my goodness. Can we say that on this channel?
No, we can't.
Oh, you mean say get the hell out of here?
Get out of here.
We won't say anything about that. Anyway, so because of Angelo Bruno getting whacked, the family's power declined significantly. And then about a year after this happened, there was a power struggle within the family. And that happened on March 21st, 1980, by the way. That's when Bruno got whacked. And then, several factions of the family conspired against him for this to happen. Eventually, what happened was his underboss, or I'm sorry, his consigliere. His consigliere was a guy named Antonio Caponegro. He was the one that ordered the hit. Now, if you guys know anything about mob stuff, you can't just whack a guy like that, especially a boss.
You have to have a commission's okay.
You got to have the commission's blessing, and for them to have a boss whacked, I mean that's.
But there's other families that didn't have a commission's okay.
Right, they didn't okay this. No. So Caponegro, he basically did this without the commission's blessing, and as a result of this, his body showed up. His body showed up in the Bronx with some money.
Money in his mouth.
Money in his mouth. That's a Sicilian thing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. That was how that happened. And then there was also other members of the family that got whacked. A lot of whackings went under this time. And basically that started a 20-year war in Philly after he got murdered. And then right after, about a year later, Philly the Chicken Man Testa, he became the boss. The Chicken Man. But that was short-lived too because the Chicken Man, he also got whacked too.
Mm-hmm. He was taken out.
He was taken out by his underboss.
Yep.
Which is a guy named Pete Casella. Because I think they were dealing drugs and they were involved in.
They were doing things back then that they didn't want to know about. They didn't want them into the drugs.
Exactly.
Drugs brought heat, and they always said, "Stay away from the drugs. There'll be no heat."
Yeah.
People they just got greedy.
Right. Once the mob got involved in drugs, everything changed.
Everything changed.
And I think it was Casella and Narducci, which were the two guys.
With the old timers.
Right.
They didn't mess around. They didn't believe in. They didn't believe in that.
No.
They say stay away from drugs, and that's true. Drugs brought heat.
Yeah, The Godfather. Remember, he goes. Vito Corleone says to oh God, what was the name of the other guy? The guy who wanted to come in and do the drugs. Was it Tartaglia?
I don't have to research that.
God,
I'm not sure. I forgot.
Well, anyway, Vito says to him, he says, "I don't have anything against your business, but drugs is a dirty business. But I don't want any part of it. But I wish you good luck with your new business venture or whatever." So, the old timers, they didn't believe in the drug dealers.
Well, you remember the movie that was made on, what's his name? What was the actor that played Gotti?
Oh, yeah, Armando Sante.
Armando Sante,
yeah.
He was great.
Oh, he flipped out, yeah.
Remember, he was
We got to do
people,
a video on that one, too.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, do a video
but drugs ruined everything.
They did, yeah. It was his friend, what was his friend's name?
It was his best friend.
Right. Well, we'll get back to that.
We're going to save that for another
day. We'll save that one
actually.
for another episode, yeah. I figured we would, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a good one to talk about.
Anyway,
let's get back to this.
Casella and Narducci, when this whole thing went down, guess where they came to?
Florida.
They came here to Florida.
Everybody fled to
Florida. Everybody comes to Florida. It's just the way it is. And then when this happened, Nicky Scarfo.
He led the family, though.
He led the family. For about a decade, yeah, he was the boss.
Yep.
And Nicky Scarfo was a pretty violent guy himself. He had a murderous reputation.
Wasn't he into gambling, drug, trafficking? Yeah. What else was he?
He had his hands in a lot of stuff.
He had his hands in a lot, right?
He had his hands in a lot of stuff. He was actually a Brooklyn guy, and I believe
My
he was
hometown, Brooklyn.
he was
Gotta love
Neapolitan,
Brooklyn.
and he had some Calabrese in him. Calabrese.
I'm Sicilian.
Big shout out to my friend John Sapone out here in this episode, by the way.
I don't know you, John, but how you doing?
How you doing? How you
How
doing?
you doing?
How you doing? So, anyway, Scarfo died in 2017 in prison. They hit him with 55 years. But he, like I said, he kind of controlled the family for about a decade. But he was in Brooklyn for a little bit, and then at age 12, his family moved to South Philly. So that was his connection to
He
Philly.
was at the boxing, wasn't he?
He was a boxer, and I think maybe that's where. So I'm thinking Stallone might have gotten some of the inspiration for the movie from all that. From well, there was a boxer from South Philly.
Yeah.
Because I know that I've read about him, and I think that's where Stallone got the inspiration for the whole Rocky, thing. But anyway, he was also during Angelo Bruno's time. He was sent to Atlantic City to oversee, some of the stuff out there. He was involved in some construction. He helped build some casinos.
Did you ever go to any of those casinos? I know you went to Las
Yeah.
Vegas. Did you ever go to any of
Oh
those
yeah,
casinos?
we used to go to Atlantic City all the time, man.
Did you ever see
My mother
any
used to
of them?
love. Oh yeah, man, it was so nice. They have the Borgata out there
Even
too.
the ones that they built? You seen them?
I think the ones that they built, by the time I kind of went there, they were still there, but they were kind of like off the beaten path a little bit.
So they were off.
I mean, because
on other hands?
years later, Trump went in there. He built the Taj Mahal,
Yeah.
Caesar's Palace,
Mm-hmm.
the Borgata. I know Trump didn't build that one, but that was another big one. I mean, Atlantic City just bloomed. It just boomed. It was beautiful. And now you go out there, and unfortunately, it's kind of lost its allure, and
It used to be a big attraction.
huge.
It's not like it used to be anymore.
I remember my mom. She used to get on the little bus over there in North Jersey. I think it was like $50, and they'd take her down there in one of those little jitney buses.
Right.
And then whatever she would pay, which was like I said, $50, they'd give her that $50 back in tokens. So she'd spend the day gambling there, the night. It was great. I mean, she loved it. God rest her soul, my mother. She was such a gambler, but she just loved it, And my dad didn't.
And you're not a gambler. That's good.
No, well,
That's
I mean,
good.
when I go to the slot machines, my wife will tell you I really kind of get
I
hooked on
didn't
it.
see that in you. You don't do that around me.
I could be a degenerate gambler
Don't
sometimes.
forget about it.
But I love it. But anyway,
There was a gangster that was a degenerate gambler. We'll talk about that another time.
yeah, for sure. But she used to love to go down there to the shore, and Atlantic City was great.
Oh,
the
Motorola.
boardwalk and stuff. Great restaurants. Oh my God, they had so many seafood places. Atlantic City was the best. But anyway, like I said, Scarfo, he gets hit with about 55 years. He died in 2017. But you know what? He died like a man. He didn't become a rat or anything,
But that's the way it should be. You got into it when you gave your oath. You don't rat on nobody.
Right.
You go down. You don't rat on anybody.
That's right. That was Omerta. That was the code. It was the way that these guys lived. But nowadays, they don't follow that.
They don't follow that.
And consequently, speaking of rats, Nicky Caramandi, Nick Caramandi, he kind of flipped on Scarfo in 1989, and they hit him with 55 years.
Yes, yep.
Yeah. And he was involved with like the Hunchback, Harry the Hunchback, and a bunch of other characters out there.
Was the Chicken Man with him?
No, the Chicken Man was Phil Testa.
Phil Testa.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
Philly Testa. Yeah. But he got whacked in 81. Remember, we just talked about him.
Yeah.
He was right before Scarfo.
Yeah.
But anyway, so currently, as far as we've been able to undercover or discover or whatever, Joey Merlino is still in charge, even though he denies it. Skinny Joey Merlino denies the whole thing. But believe it or not, the Florida connection, right? Skinny Joe is over here in Boca Raton.
Yeah.
He's got his own little restaurant there. If you walk in,
Isn't he the maitre d'?
he's the maitre d'.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
That's what I read.
He's the
That's
maitre
what I
d'.
read.
He's the maitre d' of the joint. And so he spends his time between
They say
South
it's a
Philly.
beautiful place. I've never been
Yeah,
there.
Boca's great. Boca's a lot of money out there.
We need to go there one day.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe we can go to the restaurant and go see
And
Skinny
go
Joe.
film in there and say, hey, what's
You
up,
think
Skinny?
Skinny Joe would be happy with this?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Everybody says he's a really cool dude. His dad was a big time player in the mob back in the 80s. And, Skinny Joe, he's kind of, I guess, groomed for the job from the time he was young.
Yeah.
I think he's only like 55. He's still a pretty young guy.
He's a young guy.
Yeah, and I think it was in 2018. I think it was. I don't know. I think it was in 2018. They tried to get him, and then the whole thing was declared a mistrial, so he got off. And the good thing is, I mean, from my understanding, I heard that he's a pretty cool dude. He denies any involvement. He's retired.
That's good.
So yeah,
That's the way he's supposed to be. He took an oath. That's it.
If he's retired or not,
Who knows?
he might still be the boss of the family. I don't think I want to get go any further with this video. So
No.
let's just say, Skinny Joey, if you're out there watching, kudos to you. We're huge fans of this whole thing. So no offense.
Nope.
We don't mean any offense by any of these videos. But
We
good
love
for
history.
you.
We
Yeah,
love history.
absolutely.
That's what we're talking about.
With that being said, time for a commercial break. What are we going to smoke tonight, Sal?
This is the Tarpon Sponger
In the newspaper
in the
edition.
newspaper edition. This is new to the Serving de Cuba collection.
That's right.
And what you do here is you just roll it this way. And you open it up. And you keep rolling.
I'm going to do the same thing with mine.
Yep.
Just kind of take it out of
Just
there.
take it out of here. Roll it out.
And you know what's funny is ever since we
Wow,
introduced
these
these,
look beautiful.
oh, they're amazing.
Wow.
You guys are going to get to see this.
You did a good job on meat. Wow. And this is my first time having one of these.
You're going to like it.
Thank you, my friend.
You're going to like it because it's a really smooth blend. Something of the caliber of what I'm going to do with Dad, with that cigar.
I'm dying to try that one. That's going to be phenomenal.
It's going to be coming soon to a theater near you.
Oh, I can't wait.
Show the camera.
Oh, look at that. That even smells.
Isn't that beautiful? Look at the wrapper, guys.
That
Look at
is
this.
beautiful. Look at that.
It's a gorgeous Connecticut wrapper. And this is a Churchill
This is a masterpiece.
7x48. I'm going to cut my bad boy up
You
here.
could smell that.
Isn't it amazing?
Wow.
What a blend.
That's a beaut. That's a beaut.
My little V cut. I'm going to hit it again. Here, you can have this one.
Thank you.
I'll do this other one now.
All right. Light her
I like
up.
my V cut the best, to be honest with you. There we go.
Yeah, look at that. Nice.
Show you guys how this looks.
Oh, this looks.
I think you're going to enjoy this
Oh,
one.
that smells good, Arnold. Wow, that's a beaut.
And this is for the Philly mob right here. What's left of it, anyway. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You see, we kind of left
Wow, that's a
the
beautiful
butt.
thing.
We just leave it kind of like folded in. See, we don't even cut it, just to kind of
Look
give
at
it.
the wrap.
Let me hit it a little more.
Yeah, hit it. But look at the wrap on that thing, though.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Beautiful.
These are some of our best ones. Yeah, we're getting really good feedback on this.
And these are what you've been rolling, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why I don't see you much. Always working, my man.
These are part of
Always
our
working.
premium. I like to call these the Artisan series, the Seraphin Artisan series. Just a great smoke,
I'll tell you, wow. This is smooth.
and it hasn't even picked up flavor yet.
No, but it's not even...
But it will.
But it's smooth.
Using the torch this time.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I haven't even hit the sweet spot
I'm
yet.
really enjoying doing these videos, I gotta tell you.
I really do. I enjoy it.
Mine's a little strong right now,
We need some wine. We need some espresso.
but it's getting there. God, have we talked 23 minutes already? Oh my God.
Wow.
Wow, there was a lot of information on this one.
Yeah, but it was a good one. You know?
You think so?
I think so. I think we did a good job on it.
I hope you guys enjoy the videos, because like I said, I don't want to continue to do the videos if you guys don't enjoy them. We're
Please.
having a great time doing these videos.
We love it.
Yeah.
I love
I
it.
mean, I'm in the realm here. We're talking stuff that we kind of enjoy, that we kind of know. But with the same token, we don't want to be boring, and we don't want to lag, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think they get bored, Arnold. They can't get bored of us. Come on. Get out of here. I'm Sal. He's Arnold. Forget about us. Smoke a cigar. Have some cappuccino.
Tarpon Sponger, newspaper edition.
Order yours today. At surfingthecuba.com. The best.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the hell out of this one myself.
Wow, look at that. Perfect.
Isn't that gorgeous? Show the camera.
Look
Bring
at
it
that.
this way.
Look at that.
That's
That's a beautiful burn.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. Forget about it. This is really good, honestly. This is really good.
Thank you.
I
Is there
haven't-
anything
I-
else you want to add to the camera, to our fans out there?
Keep looking us up. Keep leaving us feedback. What you like to hear from us? You know, what would you like to hear next? Is there another mob family you would like us to talk about that we can talk about? You know.
You know what? All this stuff about the Mafia has made me hungry. I think we're going to have to go to Angelo's now. So let's go to Angelo's and get some pizza.
Yeah, that
Let's do
sounds
that.
good.
Stay tuned, everybody.
We'll
And
see
thanks
you
for
there.
watching. How's it smoking, Sally?
Forget about it. Look at that. Beautiful.
Gorgeous, right?
Oh,
Great roll, right?
oh, forget it.
How would you describe the blend? Medium, mild?
I give it a medium. It is and I tell
What'd you rate it at? A 10?
I rated it 10, definitely.
Thank you.
Not because it's yours, not because it comes from you and I'm smoking yours. No, this is a good blend, Arnold. This is a good one.
Thanks,
I wish
Sam.
you luck with this one.
Thank you, man. Sally over here, Angelo.
Looks good.
It's the best. Hey, there he is. There's the man.
He's the owner.
The man, the myth, the legend. Angelo. He does it all. Angelo.
How are you?
How you doing? How are you?
Tell he's a little guinea.
Work of art right here. Those beautiful garlic nuts. Look at that, Sally. Look at those nuts, huh?
Forget about it. That's a beautiful thing.
I'm telling you.
I haven't seen that look like that since Brooklyn. That's a long time ago. Wow.
I think Angelo from Brooklyn, actually.
Those are phenomenal. Look at that.
That's
Oh
manja.
yeah, let's dig in.
Look at that, Sally boy.
That's a beautiful thing.
Huh?
Look at that. Wow.
Look at that. That's the real deal, bro.
Look at that. It stands up and everything.
No, the perfect crust.
Beautiful.
You can't find something like this in Florida, right?
No.
It's in New York still. New York,
I'll be
New
taking
Jersey.
my family here.
I know you're gonna love it. I knew you were gonna love
Look
it.
at that.
Look at that, Sally. Look at that.
That's a beautiful thing.
Wow. Look at that. Look at that slice.
Thank you.
Bon appetit, brother.
Bon app-
Manja, manja.
Manja.
Just like back in the day.
Oh, forget about it. Ooh. That
Look at
is,
the nuts. We're still working on those nuts.
the nuts are awesome.